Alright, now I was finally able to work this hand grip off, and I'm going to explain what I did. I did not actually video it because I just figured last night that I was not going to bed until I pulled it off. So, what I did was I took my heat gun and I heated it up and make sure to remove these rubber rings first. I did not want to melt them. I heated up the grip with my heat gun. It was my idea to expand the metal and soften this rubber sleeve inside. Did that, got it all nice and hot, clamped it down to the bench here, took my hammer and block, and I was able to hammer the aluminum grip off of the rubber sleeve. The rubber sleeve was still stuck. So I grabbed my screwdriver, I wedged it in between the sleeve and the bar, squirted WD-40 and worked it around, and I was able to get the rubber sleeve off. Now, just in case you ever have a similar problem, let me tell you why it got stuck on the bar. I looked up on the internet to try to find out what the hell the problem was because it made no sense to me. Well, it turns out that the assholes at the factories, they like to glue left hand grips to the handlebars. Why? You got me, but they do. Which explains why I had to cut the old grip off, which was a shame because it was still good. So, when I was putting the new grip on, I got it halfway on, and that is when it got stuck on the glue residue that was left on the bar. And that is why it got stuck. So, just in case you're trying to remove an original grip from your bar that is glued, you do the same thing as I did with the rubber sleeve. You stick a screwdriver underneath it, you pull it up, squirt some WD-40 down it and work your way around, and then you can get it off. Now, before you put on a new grip, make sure that you completely remove any glue residue left on your bar unless you want the same problem that I had. Now, there are a few things that you can use. You can go to your auto parts or hardware stores and you can buy this spray-on goop gum remover, or you can use a mixture of equal parts alcohol and ammonia, and that will remove it, or hairspray. When I was in Saturday school service, we used to use hairspray to remove gum and marker from school desks. See, that's what happens when you get in trouble. You learn things. Okay, let it set, take a razor blade and scrape it off. All of the residue. Well, this is not tedious. Thanks, factory. Good job, guys. Alright, there now. That was fun. Alright, so if you're going to permanently attach new hand grips, you should probably use, say, some glass cleaner or a mixture of soap and water, and that will help the grips slide on, and then those will dry up, and then you'll not have any problem. And of course, double and triple check to make sure you've got every last bit of glue residue off the bar. Now, if you're mocking up like me and you're going to be pulling the grip back off, you should probably saturate it with some WD-40, or since I am incredibly paranoid now, I'm going to use some petroleum jelly. And this sucker should slide right back off. Should. Okay. It's going to go on no problems, right? Right. Oh, how funny. I'll put it on the right side. I'm getting this done. Ah, there we go. That was nice and easy. Now let's put it on the intended side. Shall we? All right. Success. Now I'm going to be taping off the bar at the end of the grip, and I'll explain why when it comes time to paint. That paint job. If you're curious as to what I'm going to be painting it, there's a hint in the title of these videos. Okay, I have that marked off there. Now, let's see if it, yep, there we go. All right. Now make sure you clean off any excess jelly or WD-40 before you reinstall the hand grip permanently. And of course on the inside of the hand grip. Alright, so the next project, the seat. Okay, I knew when getting this bike that I was going to be needing a trim piece here. And someone rigged this back here with some wiring, the locking mechanism. So, of course not able to find those parts individually, I went ahead and picked up a whole other seat with the trim piece I needed and good hardware back here. This only cost me about 25 bucks on eBay, so it was not a bad purchase. Alright, so first off, need to get the trim piece and the hardware off this and mock it up to this. See how well everything fits. Always make sure you have a can of WD-40. You will need it. Alright, I got it off without breaking it. Bonus! Now always make sure to work your nuts down with your fingers before you grab any wrench, and that will save you from stripping any threads. is. Got the new hardware, trim piece on, everything looks good. Now let's try to fit it to the bike. Now the old seat was not locking down with its original hardware. And I think I noticed the problem, being that one of the tabs on the frame is bent. So let's see how it works. And I'll probably have to bend that back out. Alright, well never mind. Looks like all it needed was that hardware replacement. Nope, it does need to be bent back out a little bit. Let's go ahead and remove this tail cover. Alright, now I do not need to be careful with this tail cover because it has been cut on and I bought a replacement, so this thing is getting scrapped anyway. Alright, now I have easy access to the bent tab, bent bracket. Give it a few whacks. That looks good. Alright, that is good. Trim piece, hardware, it shuts, it locks. Good job. Now I get to recover it. Now to keep all of my nuts and bolts and screws from getting lost, I like to put them back in where I pulled them out for the time being.